What's going on, lizard folks? So I got a couple of these lizards before. This one, this iguana, and the bearded dragon. I liked them enough. I wanted to get some of the other ones. So I bought these online. There's a little info, but all that it's good for is a photograph, because the rest is all written in Chinese. So I don't even bother opening that anymore. This is the Rhino Iguana, which I've actually spoken about when I reviewed the Lizard Kingdoms brand version. So I'm not going to talk about this anymore. I will just take it out of the bag though. We'll pop that over there. So this is the blue iguana, which I will talk about because it's cool. By the way, this is Laugh and Grow Fat Series 16. Every series is a different group of animals, like frogs, tortoises, and stuff like that. But this one is all about lizards, it seems. So you can see it's well packed, with this dense foam. But careful, this is rigid plastic. This is not like a PVC toy. If you drop this, it's gonna break for sure. Think of it, I like to think of them as like ceramic. Okay. So reading Wikipedia here, the blue iguana, it's called the Cyclura lewisi. Lewisi, I think, is the scientific name. It's only native to Grand Cayman Island. So it's a very rare endangered iguana. In 2003, only 15 of these were living in the wild. So the main problem is cats and dogs and stuff are catching these things, but also these are herbivores. They eat fruits and stuff like that. So Grand Cayman is taking all their land and slowly converting it to cattle grazing, because everyone loves beef. But it destroys habitats for a lot of wildlife. All those hamburgers that you eat and stuff. And I'm guilty of it too. I do love a steak. I do love a hamburger. I don't eat it every day just for health reasons. So some of these things can get awfully blue, right? But this is more in line, I think. Some lighter blues and stuff like that. Alright, let's see here. So look at all the skin scaling texturing. It's very fine in the back. Almost smooth here in the belly, but then wrinkly here. And then you got all these little spikes growing from nothing all the way to these large ones here, which is really neat. And then you got these spikes here on the head, all varying sizes. The scales, again, varying sizes. So it's really impressive. And I don't see any seam lines or anything like that. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I guess these legs are separate pieces. And then you gotta be careful. Those toes, they're rigid plastic. If you snag them, they might break off. Oh, see, I think that one's... Oh, thankfully it's there. I thought it was broken off just looking at that angle. But yeah, those toes are painted black and stuff. There's like a dark blue for the fingers, or yeah, I guess dark blue. Funky claws there. And again, look how tiny these scales are. This is a toothpick I'm holding, so these scale details are finer than a dental pick. Really impressive. Alright, maybe some, this is maybe where it came out of the mold and they cleaned it up or something like that. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, pretty dark blue back here, and then sky blue. And you see these little dots as well, are black splotches. I don't know if there's a hand painted or if it's a paint wash. It looks like a paint wash actually. But you can see this striping here, sky blue with this like more aqua kind of color. It's really neat. All the different paint textures and actual physical textures as well. Maybe that's an ear canal if I had to guess, but I don't know. And then look at this eye. It's glossy, whereas back here, this is pretty much matte finish, I would say. It's very matte. But this is definitely glossy. And it's got a red eye. That's kind of disturbing, right? It's kind of like a devil. It's got a black pupil, but a red sclera, or... yeah, I guess it has no iris. And then again, look at the fine variation of the skin texture there. Big thing here. Unfortunately, there's no darkness here in the nostrils. You would think they'd add black paint there. Yeah, it's kind of like smiling at you. right? Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, it looks just like an iguana, but it happens to be blue. So that's neat. So I'm not going to talk about this one, but the rhino basically, it just has some horns that tend to look like rhinos, so that's why it is. And they painted this one a different color entirely from the rest. That's interesting. The front of this looks like it has like a beak, like a dinosaur. And then the eye on this as well, better detailed. Although I do feel like the paint is going up on the eyebrow, or the eyelid. But here you got the three colors there. And there looks some blue and stuff around there. The different size of all the scales, and some of them look like horns. These two dome things that are particular to the rhino iguana. This eye is done better, I think. But yeah, it's really well done. Now this one does have darkness in the nostrils, so I'm not sure why they skipped on the blue one. It looks almost like cobblestone, right? Look at all this stuff here. So yeah, funky little claws. And luckily I don't think any of them are broken. This looks pretty similar to the last. It's almost like these, I wonder if these are identical. Hold on, I gotta hit focus here. Then I can pick up the other one. I almost feel like those are identical castings, right? No, well, overall the body, but the scaling here is all fine, where it gets bigger in the middle. But just looking at the outline of the body and the outline of the feet, I think they're actually the same original bodies, but then they had different scaling textures to them. Yeah, even this looks quite similar as well. These bulges look similar. Well, I guess this head is different. This one has like an extra ridge there. I wonder if the head is a separate piece and they blended it in with putty or something. Hard to say. The back is definitely different though. Look how small the spikes are on this one compared to how big they are on the blue. I don't know. Maybe the master sculptor made one version first and then added or removed clay to make the second version after they scanned it, or however they duplicate these. This one has a really deep ear canal. Yeah, but this one not so much. So like this is a far more detailed, I think just a better rendition. Yeah, eye is more detailed. This one, no, it's just less. They slacked off on the blue one. Except for the paint effort, I think on the blue one's much better. It is pretty plain. So if you're curious, roughly dimension-wise, this is around 65 millimeters tall. Overall length, though, from tip to tip is maybe around 11 centimeters, a little under that. It falls in line with a lot of the other cartoon lizards. So these are by, Animal Heavenly Body. Here's the iguana, the first one I reviewed. And yeah, that's quite different. That has really cool eyes. Also, quite different, like almost cat eyes, the way the pupil is done. And it seems to be physically smaller, but it's got this big mane, like a rooster or something. Alright, so now we have a different brand called Lizard Kingdoms, or I don't know what the brand is, but Lizard Kingdoms 1. Here's the Rhino Iguana. And then probably my favorite one is the Marine Iguana. This thing is literally a lizard that swims into the ocean and eats algae underwater, but it looks like Godzilla, at least the real images. So it also looks far more comical. They're all really well detailed, for sure. I don't even know if I could say one brand is better. Off this initial look, it does seem like Animal Heavenly Body is more detailed, because the eyes, they have the iris and the sclera and the pupil, whereas the Lizard Kingdoms are just black with a tiny dot of white for a reflection. Right, so this is just black, but that has, 3 colors in it, so. But they're all cool. I like them. Well, if you like cartoon lizards, this video was for you. I'm not sure if I'm going to get any more from this particular wave, but I will definitely get some more figures from this particular brand. Alright, we'll see you then.